Hello and welcome to Slay the Princess. We do have a content warning here. So it is horror and also has flashing lights, so just be aware if you do have seizures, please, or motion sickness, please be cautious. Okay, let us begin.
The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So, let's see.
The end of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Yeah,
That's a bold claim you're making there.
that's a very bold claim.
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
That's sus. Yeah, have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked
While I
up?
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Are you sure?
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
You keep saying that, but you're not giving me, like, what's
Evidence?
happening. Yeah.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
I'm from the Show Me Kingdom, so, show me. Scroll down a little bit.
Let's see.
Yeah. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Have you seen humanity? I mean, we
Of course
keep
I have.
princesses locked
Why
up
would
in
I
cages.
even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
I
Are
don't
you
know, this
sure?
world kind of sucks. It's
I
a
mean,
crap sack.
maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
You underestimate how much I hate people.
Okay, so, Kevin, I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
This one?
I'll
Yeah,
talk to her.
Yeah, we'll talk to her. We'll see. Because I don't like this blind, you have to slay her.
Yeah.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Uh-huh.
Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No. You know, he does, because we're supposed to save princesses. Well, I only got one choice. Proceed to the cabin.
See, I don't know about you, but I lay princesses. It's a little different.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust.
Get out of
The
my
only
house.
furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
So you send us up here without any weapons, and you just so happen somebody left this knife here conveniently.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
But do I? I'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
But what if I don't? Let's go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Or it's a bunch of YouTube
Her
commenters.
voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Maybe she is.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
You keep saying that.
Hey, think I'm here to kill you?
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Ooh,
Oh,
Rachel,
Lord.
okay.
you gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
I'm just here to talk.
Yeah, let's just talk, yeah.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
No.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
No, it's not. I think
I'd put it down.
you want to put it down?
Yeah, put it down.
Okay.
Put it down.
Let's see what happens.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward
She
to
has
speak
very
with the
big
princess
eyes.
face to
She does.
face. Unarmed.
Very uncanny.
Very uncanny.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
I'll keep that in mind.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Whoa, whoa.
I'm here because you're supposed to end the world.
Don't just tell her that.
Yeah, just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
I don't like her tone of voice.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
That's a great question.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Well, I'm hoping you will tell me.
Yeah, there you go.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
You're right.
At the end of the day, whatever the two
Donald
of
Trump
us
didn't
have
seem to
going
know.
on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Yeah, he did outright refuse to tell us why.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She's got a point. She's got a point.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
As much as that other guy's.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
But neither is yours, narrator.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
Goes both ways.
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's
I don't
wrong.
know yet.
This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
So you're validating this purely on the fact that she's a monarch, a person who's in a position of power over someone else, power that you have taken from her, right or wrong. She was born into that power, and now you're casting aspersions on her and treating her position as a princess as some villainous thing without giving her due process or any consideration as to what she might actually do.
Okay.
On the other hand, fuck the monarchy.
He's gonna get a point there too.
She's no more a monarch than a peasant at this point. She's a prisoner.
Well, let's start with the basics.
So fuck the prison system.
That's fair too.
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Sounds like you, narrator.
Sounds like two sides of the same coin.
Too long.
Okay.
And how would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship. Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Do we want to decide what we want to do with her? Do we want to go ahead and slay her?
I'd say let her out.
Let
Fuck
her
it.
out?
End the world. Like I give a
You
damn.
have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, Maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
How is
They
she
wouldn't have just
surviving?
left the key to her chains
That's
somewhere
another
in the
good
cabin.
question.
Yeah, let's see, I'm gonna check upstairs.
I'll
Okay.
be
We can find
here.
other things here.
You
Where the
attempt
fuck
to
are
make
you
your
going?
way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Oh, so now we're
Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
Exactly.
Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
You're still locked in the basement if you cut her out of the chain.
Yeah. Technically, she's still trapped.
Yep.
So do we save her or do we slay her?
I mean, cutting her arm off is probably going to lead to her dying of blood loss, so either way.
We're slaying her.
Okay.
So,
Ah.
let's see what happens.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
You didn't, think to
cut
try and
into
tourniquet
her
the arm
flesh.
off?
Oh no. That's how she bleeds out.
The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet.
That's not typical trauma response.
She didn't so
No.
much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Yeah, that's
Thank
kinda
you.
weird.
Now let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Look at his hand.
I know. He looks like a monster himself.
Scroll down. Warn her.
There's one thing that says warn her.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Are you sure?
Resist.
Let's resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it?
Oh, that was
I'm
Why are
quick.
you
afraid
saying
it
that
is.
with,
Everything goes
a
dark,
slit throat?
and you die. I hope it was worth it.
I was about to say, that was a quick game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is She's a princess.
Listen, Stanley, you just can't ignore the narrator.
Apparently,
You're
I
here to
can't.
slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, you bastard. I'm wise to your tricks.
Yep.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
No, we haven't.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a
What's
lot
your
harder
point?
than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large?
You still
I
haven't
told you about the
told
stakes
us
of this
why.
situation less than a minute ago.
You've provided zero evidence.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Okay.
I listened
The
to you.
absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess.
You didn't provide a
You
compelling
really
argument.
don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting.
The three of you.
But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all.
That's victim blaming.
Mm-hmm.
He's gaslighting us.
Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
But they didn't.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Exactly.
No, technically he forced you to try and kill the princess.
So
You
she-
resisted and she killed you. Now this is a two-way street.
Yeah.
However, comma, he's still trying to force your hand.
Yeah.
Not only did he lock you in there, he took control of your body and tried to make you kill the princess.
And she killed you just to make sure that you wouldn't be forced to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Doesn't matter.
That does. I mean, theoretically, you have unleashed. If it's a different world entirely, theoretically, you have unleashed and at the very least, a princess who has the ability to ignore physical pain onto that world, although she was still locked in the building.
Mhm.
Although that said, who knows what else she can do now that she's free.
Unlocked? Yeah.
That said, that's an entirely different world. Is it material to you at this point, considering you now exist in this world? Maybe, maybe not. That's potential annihilation of untold number of lives.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if this is time rewinding, then it is sort of a scot-free scenario where you can repeat the same instance without, issue.
Fair.
So it does matter. This is a very significant question. Well, what else does he have to say?
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
Well,
She
I think
probably bled out because she had a fucking severed arm.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I think if the princess did so, that she probably had good reason to do so.
Mm-hmm.
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin.
For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul.
There. Yep, the skeptic is right.
Oh, how
We
I
ju-
wish that were the case. But if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are.
And yet you still haven't told me what she can do, or what her abilities are to destroy the world.
Let's also think about this from another angle. We don't know that anything exists beyond this road, this tree-filled forest, and that cabin. Like, for all we know, there is nothing beyond this.
Mm-hmm.
For all we know, the princess isn't the prisoner. We are
Yep.
trapped in a potential loop,
And the only way we can get out is to kill her.
if that.
Yeah.
So try and kill her next time and see what happens this time around.
Yeah.
You're talking in circles.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm talking in facts.
No, you're talking in ambiguity.
We want to turn around and leave?
Yeah, let's see what that gets
I'm not
us.
so sure running away is the best idea. We're not the only person stuck here. What about her?
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Nope.
I don't, and that's the point. We gotta find out. Nope. There you go. Perfect. Nope.
Let's see.
The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
This looks suspiciously like the other screen flipped.
Yeah.
Like we're getting ready to circle around back to the cabin.
That's strange. It looks like
Called
this
it.
path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
I'm not so sure about this.
Turn around and leave again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yes.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
So, the princess who's been locked in this cabin for God knows how long, who clearly doesn't have the power to release herself, even if I walk away, will still not have the power to release herself and not have the power to actually do anything. So leaving her there, technically, while not slaying her, should not change the fact that she cannot end the world unless we free her.
What if we just sat on the front porch forever?
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
See you
What's
later,
going on?
narrator.
Where are we? Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world to end?
Exactly. That just looks like hair. The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by textured nothingness. It is quiet. There's a distant rumbling sound, a sound of many sounds. Undulation,
Undulations.
pulse louder as something other comes close. Ew. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone.
Oh no, I'm being finger banged by the cosmos.
Oh god. Resistance. Finger drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. Embrace
Yeah, embrace them thoughts.
urgency. You have to have a story you need to finish. It's the only way for us to escape this place. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world's broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. A wagging finger. There's only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am our only salvation.